Live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good morning everyone and welcome to what seems to be still quite a misty and moist morning out here in the African bush. You can see all the cloud cover building up out in the far distance. My name is Ali and this is Safari Live.
Ready. Standing by.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are live, you are live.
Good morning everyone. We've got a very strange morning in our hands today. It seems to be quite cloudy all around us and you can see that it's also quite moist, but it's great because then there's going to be some sort of water resource out floating in about in the distance. My name is Ali and on camera with me today I've got Seb and we are very happy to have you guys here on board with us. If you've got any comments or any questions, please feel free to send them through using the hashtag Safari Live because we love to hear from all of you. Now, our plan for the morning, it's not a well-defined one just yet. Seb heard a leopard sawing around Ingus, that is where we stayed last night, so maybe we'll come back to it later, but we also heard what sounded like some lions distantly calling. So we're all gonna go and have a look. Maybe we'll get lucky with some of the most elusive cats of Djuma, the lions of course, the Nkuhumas. So hopefully we'll be able to spot something along the way and see what it is that's been roaming around during the night. As it seems like Ingus was the place to be yesterday, from leopards to owls. While we carry on, let's go over to Taylor and her very colorful friends.
Well, good morning everybody. Yes, we do have two very colourful friends. It's a great way to start the sunrise safari. Whether we'll see a sunrise today, I'm not so sure. My name is Taylor and on camera with me today is Craig. And well, this is live and interactive. It's happening right now in the middle of South Africa in the Sabi Wildtuin. Now remember, hashtag Safari Live, of course, with any of your questions. Now we've got our friends over there, our two hornbills bouncing around on the grass in the early morning. They've probably been awake much earlier than I have. The birds seem to be getting up earlier and earlier as we go along, and I can hear the calls of a grey-headed bushrike. Have a listen. It's almost like that hornbill's also listening to that bird, but you can see the bush is definitely starting to come alive a lot earlier. It's also because it's not so freezing cold today. It's nice and warm, lots and lots of cloud cover, hence the reason why we might not have a sunrise, but we'll keep an eye out for it. It's not quite ready to wake up just yet. Now, can you believe it? For once, I did not hear the lions. I did not hear a leopard. I saw the leopard tracks. What I did hear was hyenas. And Megan, who is directing the show today, and I had an altercation with, I suspect it was Gwen, because it was not the most attractive looking hyena. And yes, she came into camp. I thought it was somebody walking around, perhaps, going to use the luxury facilities in the early hours of the morning. And well, it wasn't, because the next minute we heard sort of breaking of plates and glasses, and I thought, oh goodness gracious, who's gone in for a sneaky snack at 2 o'clock? It wasn't. It was the hyena. Now, last night Amanda, who's our chef, she made the most amazing chocolate fondants. Now, we don't get to have dessert all the time, just special occasions, and apparently last night was one of them, and it was so delicious. So I really can't blame that hyena for trying to jump into the basin to try and get all the delicious chocolate treats that may have been left there. Naughty hyena, but I understand your pain. Look what else we've got here. It's quite interesting this morning. We might do a bit of tracking if the light gets a bit better, but first up, where's those tracks? Craigie, can you see these beautiful hippo tracks just here on the road? You can actually see them quite nicely over yesterday's tire treads. So I wonder if there was a hippo on the dam cam. It looks like a relatively large one. I'm going to go with the bull, just for the size of the feet. I could probably stand in that track, almost in that track, with both my feet squashed together. And going down Philemon's cut line, probably either heading towards Treehouse Dam. Should we follow the tracks? Let's follow the hippopotamus tracks. We always follow the cat tracks in the morning. We never give the hippos any credit. Now I believe you spotted my friend. Now he's been spotted. I have to hide him again. Yes, but Pooji was with us. Pooji was playing all sorts of songs this morning, which was wonderful. And we were singing and I was trying to sing and trying to dance. A little bit of rapping as well. I suppose it just comes out like me speaking. So anyway, so we were doing all of that to get psyched for the morning safari. Just go and see what animals we've got out there. So I think we'll follow these hippo tracks. They're not on the road anymore. So like what most animals will do, why do they need to go the long way around when they can go straight through the bush? And there's so many prominent pathways at the moment, especially because the grass is all dying. They are exposed now, and it's much easier. Not a lot of vegetation hanging over, so it's actually quite a nice, neat path. We'll see if we can find some of the really big game pathways, but there is definitely one that goes across here from Philemon's cut line all the way to Savage's track, and then pops out at Treehouse Dam. So I reckon if we go onto Savage's track, we can't take the animal pathway, of course. We'll see those hippo tracks coming out. Should we see if I'm wrong? I don't mind if I'm wrong either. Also, quite a bit of wildebeest activity around here. A couple of tracks, I think a few of them may have been resting up on the ground, trying to keep warm on the sand. Not, like I said, not that it was very cold. The animals would have been quite happy to have had this sort of warmer weather. What else have we got going on here? Still just the wildebeest. No lion tracks just yet. Now this is the difficult part, because I didn't hear any of the predators other than the hyena last night that came through camp. It's quite difficult to pinpoint where exactly those calls were coming from, and then also just to try and go and search in that area to find them. But we know where the lions normally cross in from. They either come from Sydney's dam side or the west in Mbambili near the gate, or they come down here, Weaver's Nest. Actually, they just cross in everywhere. Scrap that. They just cross wherever they want, in fact. So I'm going to keep searching around here for the hippopotami tracks. I see some more, but going the other way. Not the ones we're looking for. They're the old ones. Let's send you across to Ali, who has found one of the most difficult things you can find in the bush.
Affirmative. Sorry guys, I was just busy on the radio giving a bit of an update, but how beautiful is this sun? It looks like something from a movie or from the Pantone scale of colors. It is stunning. I think pretty much all of the yellow orange spectrum colors up there. Always when the clouds are around, we get the most stunning sunrises and sunsets. And I think we got lucky because we ended up bumping into an open area, so there's pretty much nothing in between us and the sun. It's almost like it's got a belt in the middle. Beautiful. Did you hear that?
No. I think it was my stomach.
Your stomach. No, I think it was not your stomach. I think it was maybe a lion. Justin, you say it's a multicolored sunrise. It is. It's beautiful, isn't it? And it's gone up so fast. Just as the sun, when it starts rising or when it starts going down, I think it's an affair that goes very quickly. Lisa, you're saying it even looks fake. It does, doesn't it? It's almost like all those colors are not meant to look that way, especially not to the naked eye. But I must say, if I look at it with my own two eyes and not at the screen and through the camera, I can't even really see it for too long, because then I start seeing spots because it's already very bright. But it is always a good thing when the sun is beautiful and bright, because then everything might just either become a little bit more active if it hasn't stopped moving already. Like, for example, the lions. I am sure I heard a lion earlier on, but in cold mornings like today, there's always a bit of a chance that they are actually calling from another property and we think that they're close by. We're going to leave this glorious sunrise and carry on our quest, roughly onto the area where I thought I heard something. Maybe I heard nothing, but it's always worth checking because, like we said, lions have been quite elusive lately. So I think Seb and I have decided that we need our fix of lions as well. So hopefully they'll be somewhere around this area. So far, no tracks though, which is a little bit unfortunate. And funny enough, we got an update this morning from Tamba yesterday because I was so surprised that they weren't there yesterday afternoon. Apparently they went all the way to Buffelshoek Dam, so they walked quite a distance from where they were with a very full belly. And Tamba was last seen stalking some more impala during, or just as the sun was setting. So I think our little boy is probably just growing and needs way too much food. Like I remember when my brothers were teenagers, and I don't know if that happened to you, Seb, but at one point it was just not possible to keep them full.
It's still the case.
It's still the case. Well, lucky for us girls, and you know, I think I eat more than Tristan, but but I think Tamba's going through that growth spur. Seems like Taylor has managed to find something very beautiful at Treehouse Dam, but I wonder if she's also looking at her reflection. How's that, guys?
More like looking at the reflection of the trees than seeing the hippopotamus that is petrified and hiding underneath the water. It's come up twice, literally only exposing its nostrils, not even getting its eyes and its ears on the same level. It is very scared. We'll see if it's going to pop up again so you can see that I'm not telling stories. Now, those little ripples that you can see, those are all insects just on the surface of the water. We were watching them yesterday. If you did tune into the sunset safari, we were watching all the blacksmith lapwing chicks catching all those little insects on the top of the water. I haven't spotted them just yet, but I'm sure that they're around. We're just keeping our eyes focused to figure out where this and when this hippopotamus is going to pop up. But they can hold their breath for quite a long time, so we might have to wait a little while. Whether my patience will hold on, I'm not sure, but while we wait, should we have one more listen to the dawn chorus, because it's actually quite pretty now. Those are the nostrils of a hippo. That is the hair on top of its nose. It's very scared, so I don't think we're going to bother this hippo too much. You can imagine when you're too petrified and you're one of the most dangerous animals in Africa to show yourself, under it goes, then something must be wrong. So bye-bye. Bye, hippo. We'll come back to you. We saw your footprints, though. We knew you were going to be here. Can't fool us, of course. Right, now, what are we going to do? Now we're going to try and find some cat tracks. Let's go towards, let's do a change. Let's go towards Weaver's Nest. And then let's go down towards the boundary and have a scratch around there. I know you've already seen eyes with Ali, but it is so pretty, and I also want to have a look at it. So I think we're going to stop just now, just around the corner, and have a quick look while I just check for any tracks. I'll stop in a nice spot, Craig, so we aren't too unlevel. Yes, that's so pretty. Isn't that nice with all the clouds? A little bit of cloud does make for a very dramatic sunset or sunrise. Now, unfortunately, there isn't much fog around. You can just see a little bit of it lurking about in between the trees, but that'll burn away very quickly. You know, I once tried to catch fog, but I missed. How great was that joke? Put Byron's jokes to shame. Come on, Megan, tell me that was better than Byron's jokes. I've been saving that one for a long time. See, I would have preferred to, of course, try to catch it in front of you, but, you know, we haven't got one of those chilly days. Right, off we go, but a nice quick look at the sunrise. Now we need to start scanning. Well, it's amazing how the animals sort of change their areas, and especially since the unfortunate passing of Karula, You know, it's left this empty void in the middle of Djuma, and it's great for us though, in a sense, because it's allowed for a whole lot more leopard sightings to come through. Obviously we were lucky, we were seeing Kruger and her cubs almost every single day, which was fairly spectacular. However, now we're seeing sort of variety. We're getting to see Tundi and Tumber a whole lot more. We're seeing Shadow and her cub. It's really, really quite nice. Hosana, Shongile all moving in now. So it's pretty cool to see the rest of the members of the royal family also pitching up and spending more time in areas that we can traverse. So that's quite good. And this is a favorite road of the lions. Let's just check to see if there are any lion tracks. Doesn't look like there are any big cat tracks here. So we'll keep searching along down towards the boundary. Now we're going to head across to Addie. She's had a look at the sunrise and now she's having her caffeine fix.
In Konzo, that was for Ingwe, not Ngala. Whew, sorry guys, it seems like everybody's super chatty on the radio this morning and just trying to get everything going. So just making sure that everybody knows that we've said that there were certain tracks and not some others, because then that might get people's hopes up and they would start looking for the wrong thing. Now, we haven't been lucky whatsoever in our search for tracks. So we are on the new road. Hopefully we'll be able to spot anything from here. Otherwise, I think I'm just going to do the boundary and see if perhaps we don't get any reports for the lions, because this is pretty much or almost as far south as what we can go. So if not, then I think maybe the lions that we heard are actually still in Arathusa somewhere. So let's see. Alright, not too much around here. And it seems like whoever it was that was walking here is now gone. All of the little antelope tracks. And the sun is coming up. I think maybe we should get lucky, or hopefully with shadow around here as well. Mersalt, you're wondering what is the best time of the year to come on safari? Well, it depends. I think that is probably one of the oldest questions and the most the one that causes the most controversial answers. Now, I think my personal opinion is that the best time to come on safari is during the winter time. So pretty much this time of the year, because I love the golden color of the grass. Everything's a little bit thinner. It's easier to spot some of the animals, and there's potential to witness a lot of predator interaction. Now, some other people, like Tristan for example, they absolutely adore the summer. It's quite nice and warm all throughout the year. Everything's beautiful and lush and green and lots of flowers, and just everything looks slightly healthier, I would say. And then of course a lot of the potential of seeing a lot of young ones. There's a lot of herbivores, they give birth at this time, or when the summer starts, or during the summertime, because there's a lot more food available. So I think it's one of the hardest questions to answer. It depends how cold you like getting or how hot you like getting, because sometimes in the winter the temperature will go down to maybe 0 degrees in the morning drive, depending in which area of South Africa you go on safari. And sometimes in the summertime it'll go to about, I think last 2 years ago we had it up to 52, but that was a very hot summer. That was horrible. So it's hard to tell. I enjoy it for the most part of the year. There are just maybe 2 months of the year that I just think are not my thing, and that is probably December. I feel it's too hot and humid. Funny enough for a person that's coming from the tropics, but maybe that's why. Alright, I'm just checking very nicely around here, because this is also an area that Shadow likes being, and we all know that she's quite an elusive leopard per nature. It's her nature. So haven't been able to spot any tracks, and of course there are so many termite mounds around here that we're also paying attention to all of them up and about. So you never know. But unfortunately it seems like no tracks for Shadow and her little cub. That would have been nice, but I think we're still gonna check around some of the other areas. I still have some hope for at least one of the lions somewhere. I do know that there were reports this morning for 2 of the Birmingham boys all the way up into Buffalo's Hook, so I wonder if perhaps we didn't actually hear the sticks roaring, because the last update that we got was that actually the Nkahumas were in Buffalo's Hook somewhere, but they kept grading the roads, so they do it to maintain the roads, and they'll drag very big tires with a tractor on the main roads. So obviously it's good because the roads are going to be better, but it's bad because it erases all the tracks of all the animals that have been around. So I know there was a little bit of that going on, so the guys were saying that it was hard to find them in between morning and afternoon drive because the roads got graded during the afternoon or the mid-morning, and if the animals moved around it was hard. So nobody's really sure if they're in between Manialeti or if they're on Buffalo's Hook. Suppose we will only find out a little bit later on, once everybody starts making their way onto that area, and then they'll keep us updated. I keep seeing so many leopard logs. Ah, Steenbok! Don't run! No! A little Steenbok, a male. Having breakfast. So you see, it is quite funny because you can appreciate just how hard it is to spot them sometimes. The grass is definitely longer than this male, so it's not the easiest thing. And he's gone behind what looks to be a termite mound, and in between all the thickets there, and there it is. Steenbok gone. Oh my goodness. They are the proper escape artists. They'll just jump and then away they go. Which is good because they'll survive a lot more like that. Seems like Taylor's doing the march of all the dams this morning, so let's go over to her and see if there's anything lurking at Twin Dams.
That we are. Now I'm scanning across towards Baboon Pan, making sure I don't miss a leopard, because I do like it around here. But I cannot see anything. But I could have missed one. I haven't actually seen any leopard tracks, but what I have found is a lens cover. Let me pick the lens cover up quickly and jump out the car. Ooh, big rewards, big rewards. Put it on auction. This is a big camera. This is not to be played with. Right, I'm sure the owner will be very happy once it is returned to them. We'll have to figure it out. I'm trying to figure out who's been driving around with massive cameras, so we shall announce it on the Game Drive radio at some point. Come on, animals! No, there's nothing. Please don't be a quiet morning. Maybe the lions and leopards are still on the move, and they haven't left their tracks behind yet. Now, dear watcher, you say that a giraffe would be nice. It wouldn't be nice, wouldn't it? We saw lots of tracks around here yesterday. They crossed south, sadly. Let's have a look at Twin Dams. See if there's anything here. I can just smell elephants this morning, which is great. I like the smell of elephants. There is a hole of 1 Egyptian goose. Now, this dam is bustling at the moment. It's incredible. Even walking away from us, not happy with us. Arriving at its dam, I suppose. If anything, it does belong to the Egyptian goose. Oh, there's a water thickener though, Craig. I don't know if you can see it, but just let me try and point there. Lean out the way for you. There's a water thickener. It's another bird. Now, because we've got so many new viewers joining us all the time, and yesterday we were chatting about starting lists, plant lists, butterfly lists, bird lists, mammal lists, reptile lists. The lists are endless. Lists of lists. If you have added this one to your list, you can let us know. Hashtag Safari Live with what number it is. And perhaps you've never seen a water thickener bathing before, but here we go. There's no such thing as privacy, especially when we're out and about and driving around. And luckily for us, the animals don't seem to mind us watching them. Isn't that cool? That's actually a very pretty scene that we've got there. Now, if it was an impala or a warthog standing in the same spot, it would have sunk into the mud. But luckily for this bird, it's quite light and it's got widely splayed toes, so it is able to stay above the muddy surface. Birds don't mud bath like the animals do, to try and keep nice and cool and also to try and suffocate parasites. They'll typically sunbath, bathe in the water itself. They'll dust bath to try and suffocate any parasites that they've got on their bodies. But it would be quite funny to watch a bird rolling around in the mud. I'd quite enjoy that. And a really, really big eye too. So most of the time birds that have got these rather large eyes, it's an indication that they're typically nocturnal, and that's exactly what a water thickney is. You do see them out and about during the day, but as soon as the sun sort of breaks through the cloud cover, it will head to the tree line, which is not too far away from the water's edge, where it will take up a bit of a rest, and it will just stand in the shadows. And then again, as the sun starts to dip later this afternoon, it will go about its patrol. Now, they eat a variety of different things, mainly insects, and they love scorpions. They'll eat lots and lots of different types of invertebrates. Now, our Lara Moore, you say that they look similar to red-crested corehorns. I suppose, and typically the head, I think the head shape, and I suppose the beak and the big eye that we were just talking about, I suppose if you used your imagination, they do resemble them slightly. Not quite as big though, much smaller than the red-crested corehorn, or even that of a black-bellied bustard. But a very pretty bird, and we normally see them around the crocodiles of Chitwa Dam. Oh, and apparently it's number 46 on Deer Watchers list, so that's fantastic. Well, there we go. I thought it was actually done having a bath, but it seems as though it's going back for seconds. No. Shaking the water off of its legs. And then, like I said, it will probably walk back to the tree line. My goodness, young Mita, who's only 8 years old, congratulations. You said that this is number 90. Luckily our show is 92, sorry. Luckily our show is educational sometimes. I'm glad that your list is so high. Now, I did just hear a whole lot of birds panic in the distance. Not that this water thickney has showed any response to that, but it also could have just been the francolins or spurfowls, whichever one it was, calling, sort of getting upset for nothing. They do tend to panic unnecessarily at times. You're just going to sit there now. Okay, let's carry on with our search. Thank you, Water Thickney, for that great demonstration of how a bird baths. Still waiting to see Cape Glossy starlings bathing. That's when I'll be happy. Now we just go reverse over the dam wall. And we're going to go, I don't know if we're going to go in the Mulwati yet. I haven't quite decided. We'll make that decision when we pick up some cat tracks, but we'll keep bumbling about and hopefully something will just bump into us. We're going to head back to Ali now, or Ali Olive Oil as I'm trying to call her, and see if she's managed to find that leopard she's been tracking.
Ali Olive Oil. Taylor's just still upset about the couple's drive yesterday. That's why she's calling me Ali Olive Oil, because my last name is Olivieri and it does come from the word olive. So she's been calling me on the radio Olive Oil, and the first time I was like, what is this crazy person saying on the radio? And then I realized, I was like, oh, it's me. We haven't had much luck around here, guys, to be quite honest. Not one track for anything. And not one living animal. I think maybe I lie. Maybe there was an impala out in the distance, but definitely not more than 2 impala. So we're going to carry on checking around here. I think I just want to check the northern section quite well. Feels like there might be something hiding in here that we might want to see. So why not? Let's try it out. Taylor's taking the south, and we'll take on the north. The Tufus, you're asking if we can please find some wild dogs today. If we could, or if I could will them to us, then I would. I think the last report that we had of the wild dogs were actually on Wednesday, when they came into Vuyatila for like a very short time. I don't think they were in here more than 5 minutes before going back south into Little Gowrie, and then they carried on onto Vessels, which is another property south of Little Gowrie. So they have been around, and it was again that pack of 3, but we haven't seen them after that. So they could be somewhere around here, I hope. But if they were around, that would be pretty good. It's like yesterday, I think we had that funny what are these tracks, that funny wild dog feeling when we saw, hang on, now let me just check these tracks properly. Okay, no, now I was thinking that maybe I had wild dog tracks. Where we had impala running very quickly, and it seems like the tracks had been running, but no predator tracks, no signs for wild dogs or anything else. So, but But why not? I think maybe it'll be a good thing if we do like a boundary patrol. Perhaps we'll get something coming from another property that we would like to see. Because it seems like our animals are very generous and they always go onto other properties. So why not? Maybe they can do that for us this morning. Although the morning is still young, so here's to hoping. And like I said, it's been a bit of a funny morning, so I think animals are going to be active up to a little bit later because it was very moist and you can still see almost like little glints of the dew just on top of the trees, and everything's got that bright color now that it's almost like it's been washed by the mist. So who knows, maybe we'll still get lucky. But I think, Sabi, if we don't find anything in the next little while, we'll probably have to declare that this area is animal free and then start moving somewhere else where we might find some more animals. But I suppose it's what's beautiful about safari. You never know where you're going to find things. No tracks here. And this is such a big, beautiful, open area. Come, lions, be here. You are not a lion track. Oh. Brent, you're wondering what my favorite animal in the bush is. Well, my favorite animals are rhinos. I love them because they're very big and tough, and they probably make one of the funniest noises out there, as it's a very high-pitched noise. So they are quite funny creatures to look at. And they're quite entertaining to watch because they have quite an interesting social structure, and you always see the youngster with the mothers. But the white rhinos in particular, they're believed to be semi-sociable creatures. So when they start hanging out with each other, it is quite funny because sometimes you'll see them jumping around together or sleeping down together, and then they'll get upset and then they'll start making funny noises like and I love watching them. It is very, very funny. And especially the females, when the males are trying to come close to them, they get so upset and they start growling, and it's a very scary growl. Like, even it almost sounds like it's coming from a lion. I wouldn't mess with rhinos either. Seb, I think there are no animals here on this particular road.
It's very quiet.
I actually even thought that in the distance I could see a bird or a bat, but it was actually just a piece of log falling from the tree. Alright. Not even the birds. Come on, birdies. Alright, we can hear some more in the distance, so hopefully we'll be able to get some birds. Wow. Nope, too far away. Can't even see them. I am so surprised. Normally areas, they look this empty once you've had a predator walking through them or making a lot of noise. And I don't think that's been the case. Okay, Taylor's got a curious look on her face, and I wonder what she's thinking about, so let's go over to her and find out.
Is this my curious face? This is my confused face. There is a bird calling. I want you all to have a little listen very quickly. That one. I don't know what it is. I think it's one of the chugras. I can't find it. I think it's sitting in the Pelter Forum, but you can, if you have a look at it, it's very leafy at the moment, which makes it almost impossible for us to try and spot this bird. It's definitely in there. And I think there's two of them. I think there's a duet that's being sung at the moment, which is again very important for the birds, especially as we watch the courtship process being demonstrated by a lot of the birds at the moment. Singing, like preening and allo-grooming, which some of the mammals do, and birds do it too, is a way to strengthen the bond between one another. I thought I saw it. I don't know what it is. Oh well, I've forgotten that call. That's terrible of me. I'm going to have to start listening to all the bird calls again, because I really feel like I can't remember most of them. Oh, my favorite starling. Don't fly away because I've just told everyone about you. There it is. It's on the elephant dung. Thank you for standing up higher. That's very kind of you. Cape glossy starling. I love these birds. They have got so much character and their calls are really funny too. Now, the bird activity around here at the moment is exceptional. There are quite a few different species hopping about, but the starling seems to have hit the jackpot. I don't know if it's going after ants or something else, but you can see it's definitely picking up little things. Now, we can't see them, so I can only imagine it's the size of a termite, or even smaller, like I said, the size of an ant. But it is searching, it's racing through the grass. It doesn't look like it's flushing anything out. Looks like it's just picking up little things that are crawling around on the ground. Now coming out into the open for us. It's very kind of you. Run! They are quick. Now, of course, they don't look as beautiful as what they normally do when they've got the sun's rays on their feathers. But that's all right. I like that bright orange contrasting eye. You are so cool. They don't look quite as grumpy as the hornbills do. They look very curious. Right, like I said, there's lots of other birds. There's actually a hornbill, a red-billed hornbill, a different one from what we've seen, feeding on something too. And there it is, bouncing around, sifting through some dung. So this is the red-billed hornbill again, in case you missed it. Now, Lisa, you're wondering if there's any birds that migrate for the winter. Yes, there is. A lot of the birds actually move away. They come back for our summer. So a big one that flies quite a far distance, a Palearctic migrant, is the European roller, the stepped eagle that goes all the way to the plains of, well, not the plains, the foot of the stepped mountains. We have got Wahlberg's eagles, but they're more intra-African migrants. We've got quite a few of the bee-eater species, white-throated. European bee-eater too, also flying quite a far distance away. So there are plenty birds out here. The list is almost endless. I don't think I could actually sit and name them all. But it's very interesting. I wonder, because we are seeing this courtship process with the birds happening so early. Normally it only happens sort of, what are we in now? August, September, you typically start to see it. But it's happening now. So does that mean we're going to get birds coming back earlier this year? I don't know. We're really just going to have to wait and see. But I've definitely noticed some strange changes and some strange birds hanging around. Some not even leaving anymore, just becoming residents. So we'll see what actually happens. I still haven't picked up on one cat track, barring of course the leopard tracks that we saw around camp, which Ali's following up on. So I think we might go up towards Buffelshoek Dam then. Just keep this radio on just in case they pick up on anything. I know they were trying to follow up on a leopard, but it sounded like on the boundary of Cheetah Plains and Kruger Park, somewhere around there. Craig, which road? Do you want to go Battalier Road? Or do you want to go Nyala Road south? Battalier. Right, this is Craig's decision here, so if we don't find anything, you know who to blame. Just jokes. It's always my fault, don't worry. Right, let's navigate through the thick sand. So we'll keep searching here, and I have a feeling that Craig's actually chosen a goodie, so hopefully we'll pick up on something this side. Maybe not a cat, maybe an elephant. I'm going to send you across to Ali, who is also having a tough time finding a leopard or a lion.
It is. And it was funny how it works. I was so certain this morning. I was like, yes, if we go north, there will be something there. And there is absolutely nothing. Not even an impala. Not a pretty impala, not a pretty starling, not a pretty hornbill. But it's fine. We'll carry on our search. We're bound to bump into something. Even if we have to drive every single road on Djuma, we will. I think Taylor was clever this morning and she headed for the dams, and it seems like maybe there's a bit more life around it. So we'll see. I am like, everywhere I turn I see spots. So I think it just proves that I'm going crazy. Let me just... Hello. Let's see. You guys are wondering if didn't Taylor have a sighting of a serval coming here? I think it was a caracal, but I'm not sure where it was, to be honest. We'll have to ask her once we go and see her. Oh, have I? Sorry, I didn't hear. There was a lot of radio talk, so I just need to answer quickly. Yeah, Rex, that was a message for the Ngala that I passed on to you earlier. And Brenda, you're wondering if I have ever had a sighting of serval in this area. I haven't. I know there was one that used to live close to Simambili when we used to work there, and every time we would come in and out during the night, like my eyes would be attached to the car if I were, or to the window of the car if we were driving in a closed car, or if I was driving in an open game drive vehicle, I would drive like this and with the spotlight trying to see them. But I've never seen them. I've only seen serval once before in the Kruger National Park on a night drive, and I only went on that particular drive because I knew that I had a potential high chance of seeing either a wildcat or a serval in that area around the Satara area. And I did get the serval. Was fell off the truck. Also, Tristan used to see a serval around what's the name of that lot? Chitwa. That apparently was quite relaxed, but I haven't seen it yet. Okay. Yeah.
It's down there.
Down there. Okay. Alright. Well, here's a starling. Flown away. Alright, our starling flew away. Sorry, Sam. Let's go over to Taylor, who's managed to catch one on a tree. Or actually.
We have got a little starling bouncing. I'm not a starling, a sunbird, and we haven't seen sunbirds for a long time. It's feeding on the flowers of the knobthorn tree. I think it's a white-bellied sunbird. It's a bit difficult to see from here. I can't see if it's got the little purple band, but you can clearly see that it's got, oh, beautiful. It had that very well white belly. Is it still there? I don't know if it's going to fly away, although there's plenty of little knobthorns around. Now, I just wanted to check. Let's confirm this bird with its call. And I can also hear Franklin's panicking down there, so I'm keeping an eye out across the drainage line. Oh, I have to turn my phone on loud. Yes. Listen. That is exactly what we were listening to now. Cool. Yeah. I just heard it. It's flying across now. It just flew across us. How cool was that? We have not seen sunbirds for such a long time. Quick sighting, but we have started hearing them again. And I've also got lots of elephant tracks here. Yay! Elephant Road, please still be here. I haven't heard any branches breaking, but the dung looks fairly fresh. Maybe late, very late last night, so I'm going to pick up the pace just a little bit because I want to find the elephants. How nice is that? I'm actually really excited. It's been months since I last saw a sunbird. Okay. Now, I'm still on the elephant tracks, but I'm just going to keep scanning because it's very thick here. So it's one of the few dense areas. We are on the edge of a drainage line, so it's no surprise. And that's why we're going to start seeing a lot of animals around here with all the lush vegetation. Not necessarily lots of grass, but lots of nice trees to feed on. Oh, there's lots of different tracks. So from adults right through to young calves, too. Some tiny tracks that are only about that round. Oh, I'm so excited. Where are the elephants? Now, earlier I was chatting about elephants at, not Treehouse Dam, Twin Dams. And I'd said that I actually smelled like an elephant bull and must, to be honest. And Exquisite Bliss, you were wondering, what do the elephants smell like, seeing as I was chatting about it. Well, it's an interesting smell, a little bit musky. But like a sweet vegetation smell too. It sounds bizarre. I don't actually know how to describe the smell of it. It's really quite nice. You often get that smell of vegetation sort of being broken, or grass, like freshly mowed grass, because obviously they're pulling up a lot of it. But there's a musky smell, but not like a dirty smell that you get from wild dogs or even waterbuck or wildebeest. It's something completely different. It's quite an earthy smell. It's really nice. Elephant bulls in must tend to smell quite pungent and a little bit more like drained water. So it could have been a bull maybe coming out of must and he wasn't too stinky. They walked here though. I think we might be in luck. Alright, so we're all doing a bit of birding this morning it seems. So I'm going to track my elephants. Let's go to Ali's bird.
Well, we did, and it was such a pretty bird, but maybe Seb with his super camera skills will be able to get them, because we have somewhat of a view. Yes, well done. No, I am feeling quite offended by all these birds this morning. That was a white-crested helmet shrike, and it was a group of 6, and they've been fluttering around here, going down to the grass to grab something to eat and moving on. But they are being quite unfriendly, so I don't want to see them anymore. They don't want to see us, we don't have to see them. We had tracks for what looked to be a herd of elephants also coming onto this general direction, but they crossed all the way south into Simambili, so unfortunately that herd of elephants is a no-go for us. But who knows, maybe we'll be able to find something else on this road. I still have hope. We have left the area where we started and now we're heading into the unknown, so hopefully this will bring us good things. Like a leopard or 5 lions. I'm not picky this morning. Alright, let's keep an eye out around here. And it was quite funny, we started the morning, I was like, oh, it's quite hot this morning, I'm not going to put an extra jacket on. And I think if you could see me and Seb, we're wearing like 5 pairs of gloves already, 2 jackets. Quite a deceiving morning. Now, come back little things. Sorry, Megan, can you just repeat the last question? Oh, John, you're wondering how often do my eyes play tricks on me in the bush? Well, a lot. This morning, I think I have seen spots, or I have seen what I think are leopard larvae at least 5 times. So it happens often that we'll think that there is something, and then you stop and you think, and then there isn't anything. Because some rocks and some termite mounds and some logs definitely look like an animal out there in the bush. But the trick is always to stop and double check, because for every 10 times that you get it wrong, the one time that you get it right, then you're just super happy about it, and then of course you get to enjoy the company of a stupendous animal. So why not? Although I am hoping that this is not going to be a morning of just tricks. I hope that this is going to be a morning of actual animals. I don't even know if we can hope for cats anymore. Whew. We're heading into the coldness, Seb. I don't know if this was a smart move. I can see all the mist ahead of us. My oh my. We are brave. All I have to do is close my jacket up. Morning! Alright. He was quite far away from home. Alright, little creatures. Whew. I don't know where the animals might have gone, because now this is a lot colder, so I wonder if perhaps they're all not down here somewhere. And they are so cold that they can't really think, and they're hiding in between the thickets. That would make a little bit more sense as to why they haven't all gone up onto the ridge where it's nice and warm. Who knows? Animals do funny things sometimes. Seems like Taylor's searching for elephants, so let's go over to her and see how the search is going.
I lost my elephant tracks, but I've just picked them up. Whew. They went into the no-man elephants. That is upsetting. They cross into Torchwood. I thought we were going to get them. I'm very sad now. I'm going to go home. I'm going back to bed. I can't believe they did that. They can't be too far from here either. Oh well. Okay, we'll try and find something else, seeing as though the elephants don't want to play ball. Maybe we can find another herd. Oh, a big kudu. That's okay. We can totally have a look at a big kudu. Well, he's not enormous. He's got a nice set of horns, but he's not particularly muscled up just at the moment. He's lost a little bit of condition. Isn't he gorgeous, though? No, he hasn't actually even reacted to us once. I don't know if he knows we're here. Normally the kudu will always stop and just have a look at us, just to make sure we're not plotting any sneaky attacks. Not that we're interested in the kudu, other than looking at them through the camera. Off he goes. Oh, there's one or two elephant tracks, so maybe we're going to see a bull. Perhaps, but I don't know. But we'll go towards Buffelshoek Dam and we'll have a little scratch around that side. I know Ali's doing a boundary patrol. I wonder if she's going to go towards Chitwa. If she wants to, she's more than welcome to head towards Chitwa. We can carry on around the side. Yeah, there's elephant tracks here as well. But they're going the other way. No, I think they're all joined up and missioned into Torchwood. It's a little bit disappointing. Oh well. Okay, what else are we going to find then on this beautiful morning? It is so nice. I can't believe we haven't got any cats crossing on. I mean, normally most nights it's very loud in camp. It's impossible to sleep because the predators are making so many noises. Right, before Addie's bird flies away, let's go across to her.
No! He flew away. And he's just behind the bushes there. Now, it was a southern black tit, so I'm hoping that it's gonna come back somewhere around, because there's a whole bird party around here. Now, that was very uncalled for little bird, so we're gonna see if maybe we can sneak up on them once more, because they're all flying around here, so I'm hoping we're gonna be able to see it. I see it fluttering about. Hang on. I feel like I'm stalking birds now. Because there are quite a few drungos. No, I can't see it. I think it's just gone to a spot that's very hard to view. Could be, but I think that's a drungo. If there's a little bit of white in the wings, then it will definitely be it. Just hiding. So sometimes birds don't really play the part, do they? I want to try and find it in the book for you guys, so that you're, if you've got it, that'll be great. Yes, that's the one. Well done, Seb. Haha, you can fly, but you can't hide. There we go, the southern black tit. Beautiful little bird. And it's funny because we get a lot of black birds that look like drungos, but then you start paying more attention and then you see the white coming through and you're like, ah, but you're not a drungo, you're something else. So this is a bird that we hear probably more than what we actually get to see it, and it's often around with other birds in bird parties. So just like we see the different species of antelope feeding all together, often birds will do it as well, because there are more eyes looking out for everyone. So it's for safety reasons. Now, if you see here, this is the one that we were looking at, the southern black tit. Very beautiful little bird. And it's quite small, I think about maybe just 10-15 centimeters, not more than that. And very, very noisy little bird. Southern black tit. There you go. It occurs in all of this area, pretty much from the south all the way up to Zimbabwe, and then Namibia all the way over here. Alright, I think at least we managed to have a little bit of a look, so we will carry on, because I think this bird party has carried on moving, flying away from all of us. But before we go anywhere, just gotta put my gloves on quickly before I start losing fingers to frostbite. Punk rock and music. You're wondering if we have any carmine bee eaters here. Well, we do, but in the summertime. They're a migratory species of bird, so they only come during the summertime down onto this area. So they are very beautiful and colorful, but like I said, not around here at this time of the year. But let me see if I can find them quickly on the book, just to show them to everyone, because they are very beautiful birds. And I think they are also one of the ones that we start looking forward to seeing when the summertime arrives. Okay, there we go. Southern carmine bee eater. Now there are lots of species of bee eaters, but this is potentially one of the most striking ones in coloration just because of those beautiful, beautiful colors. They are very, very beautiful, and they are normally found in very big colonies, lots of them flying around, and they nest especially in the sandbanks. So they'll do little holes, like some of the kingfishers. They'll do little holes on the banks of the river, and then they'll go inside, and then they'll pretty much have to come straight out. But they are not the most hygienic birds when it comes to keeping their nests clean. Now I hear a lot of vehicles around here, so I wonder if perhaps the lions that I heard are not somewhere on our right hand side, which unfortunately we cannot go to. But while I find out about what's happening, let's just go over to Taylor, who's busy bumbling about.
We are bumbling, that's all we seem to be able to do at the moment. Can't even find a bumblebee on this bumble. How disappointing. Loads and loads and loads and loads of elephant tracks everywhere. So they obviously crossed onto the property. Must have been late last night. Maybe they went to Buffelshoek Dam and had a drink, and then they all decided to cross out early this morning. Silly elephants. It would have been really nice to spend some quality time. I would have been quite happy to sit with them for 3 hours today. That's what I was willing to do. The elephants were not willing to play ball, I'm afraid. We're just on Hippo Pools Road at the moment, taking it very easy, as you can see, not racing off after anything. Where are you going to land, birdie? Let's see if we can get this. No, there was a emerald spotted wood dove. It's gone now. Oh no, there it is. Found it. Ah! I knew we'd spotted it and then it flew away. Okay, well, we won't be having a look at that. Now, Ali said something about Tandy and Tamba walking towards Buffelshoek Dam yesterday. So I wonder if they found them or if they had their tracks. I can't remember hearing anything about that yesterday. It was quite interesting. So we'll have a scratch around there, see if there's anything there. And if not, we're going to go down Inyala Road north and then down Inyala Road south. And hopefully we'll find some evidence of some big cats. We're nearly at the dam. I can see the Balanites tree, and I'm starting to see the dam wall now too. Let's keep our eyes peeled here. There's very good hidey holes for leopards to hide away in. I'm going to make sure I don't miss any trees. So I'm going to be a bit like squirrel or mongoose, constantly looking around. Here's our graveyard, one of our graveyards on the right. We'll just give all the new viewers a tour. Now you will see lots and lots of bones scattered about on the bush, whether you go on a safari or you join us on a safari every single day, twice a day. And this is from a buffalo. This buffalo actually died in the dam. It was when we had a very bad drought, so it was from natural causes. And we made the decision to tow it out of the dam because it was one of the last remaining areas that had water in. You can imagine a carcass would completely ruin that water source. So they dragged it a fair amount away. Nothing touched it, which I think was a very good decision on the conservation team. The fact that nothing ate it would have meant that that carcass would have rotted away in that water and would have absolutely poisoned it. Nothing would have really drank from it either. And that's why there's so many bones here. A couple of them have been scattered about by hyenas, most likely. There were a couple of birds of prey that pecked at it but didn't really feed on much. And then we've had Inyala biting the bones or chewing on the bones to try and absorb calcium from them. But that's not all that's hanging around here. Just in front of the car, in fact, there's a family of crested francolins. We've got two digging in the soft sand, looking for things to eat. I think they're hungry, like me this morning. I'm starving. You know what, Megan? You know what's going to have to happen today, and I'm just putting it out there, is that I think I'm going to have to swing past camp and get a piece of fruit at some point. Craig, did you bring fruit with you this morning? Oh, that's so nice. Megan says she's going to throw it out to me from Final Control. Look at you, director and fruit thrower. I don't know why I'm hungry this morning, but we'll go and maybe get an orange or a narchi, which I suppose is like tangerine, in case you're wondering what a narki is. It's an interesting word. Nartjie. I'd love to hear how some of the foreigners would say that word. I think it would be quite a good one to say. Okay, thank you very much, Crested Franklins, for digging. Yes, Ali. We must get Ali to say Nachi in her most South African voice. It could be quite great. Okay, let's quickly have a look at the dam. It's right here. We're at Bubbles Hook Dam. Oh, Hippo! Life! I would have liked Leopard though. Sorry, excuse me, Hornbill. Hornbill. We're trying to have a look at the hippo here. You mind? We'll pay attention to you at some point, but not right now. It's just stop right here. One hippopotamus in the dam. I don't know where his friends are. They're not around. Maybe there's a female that's going to pop up. So typically just one on its own like this means that it is a boy. They're quite territorial. And look at how disgusting the water is looking now. You see that? It's almost getting like a scum on the surface. And we see this happening all the time. And it's just because we haven't had any more rainfall to top up the water level, so it is starting to drop. Remember, hippo, buffalo, elephants, all these different animals actually defecate and urinate in the water too. There's nothing stopping them. You can imagine that swirling up. It's not great. And if we get to the point where we don't say get rains, maybe the rains come late this year, though I think we might have early rain. That's just my opinion. Hopefully I'm wrong, because I'd like to see the buffalo come back. And unfortunately the things that live in the water are going to take a bit of a dive. Excuse me, sorry. One sneeze. Now it's an official sunrise safari. Thank you, Megan, for saying bless you. So what I was trying to say before my sneeze interrupted me was that things like fish and all the various microorganisms and crustaceans that may be living in this water obviously rely on fresh water coming in, because it reoxygenates the water. And with all of the urine and dung and just all the different things that are coming off of the animals' coats, all the different oils, obviously water bucks are not afraid of water, and they often completely stand with their bellies in the water, so that's contributing to the scum that's forming on this water. It's basically going to be very difficult for those little creatures to live in these dams, and they eventually start suffocating this. And I've told the story many a times at Earth Lodge. There's a dam just below the camp. This is at Sabi, and yes, we had to get rid of all the fish that had died. It was very, very sad, but of course it was during the peak of the drought. But our hippo, unfortunately, is not going to get up to too much this morning. He's had a big night out. He's been walking around searching for the best type of grass. Now he's made his way back towards the water, and he looks like he's going to have a bit of a siesta. He hasn't really moved at all, other than turn his head slightly just to keep an eye out on us. And I think this is where he will rest. I'd like to see elephants coming through this dam again, or sort of consistently once a week, so we can watch the water levels drop. Because I wonder how deep it is. Normally this section where it is now is fairly deep, and then there's another deep pool at the other end of the dam. But we should start to see bits of mud sticking out of the water. Not just yet though. So there's still a good amount of water in here. I think we should be okay though. I think if we get rains at normal time of the year, this dam will probably have water in it still. I don't think it will completely dry out like what we experienced last year. Well, it almost dried out. Luckily we had the little bouts of rain. Little hippopotamus. Now remember, this is a live and interactive safari. If you have just joined us, it's a little bit quiet out in the bush today, but that's no worry. That's just how it goes sometimes. We're looking at lots of birds, and we'll try and entertain you. Otherwise, remember to hashtag Safari Live, of course. Let's reposition. Let's go on to the other side of the dam. I want to have a look here. Maybe there's more sunbirds and knobthorn trees. Let's just quickly check. Also heard pearl-spotted owlets. I think I know where I'm going to find them though. I reckon if we go down Nyala Road North, we're going to find those pearl-spotted owlets. So let's go down, we'll go down that way. I'm going to send you across to Ali. I didn't quite hear what she's looking at, but I'm sure it'll be fantastic. And remember to ask her to say Nachi.
Nachi. You see, Taylor? I can't do it. No, I'm actually quite excited because we found a different species of tree that we haven't spoken about as yet. So very, very excited to share with you guys a new one. That's funny enough on another property, but it's fine. I'm sure they won't mind if we show it. This beautiful tree over here with this very funny looking leaves. It's actually called the sandpaper bush. Ooh, I'm going forward. So it's called the sandpaper bush because its leaves are very, very rough, and if you feel them, it's almost like sandpaper or whatever it is that you use to treat some of the wood. So it very, very rough leaves that it's got, and not too many things feed on it just because it's very unpleasant. Look at that. I'm so excited we found this one, because there's another species of tree that's quite similar to this one that's called the wild pear, and it's pretty similar. It's just the leaves are a little bit roundier than the ones of this particular one. It's normally a bit of a shinier tree, but because it's on the main road, then there's a lot of dust flying around, so it's actually really covered all in all. But I want to show you guys, if I put it here, it's probably the easiest. This is the leaf. I don't know how I can try to convey just how rough it is, but maybe you'll hear my... So it's very, very rough. You can even hear that it's peeling off the skin of my finger if I go like this. So very, very beautiful. And of course, some people use it as a sandpaper. You can go like this to try and sand out things. You see already. Oh, poor Rusty, I'm sorry. And we managed to find it in the book, so if you want to have a look at what they actually are going to start looking at later on in the year, it's this one down here, these two. So Eretia amoena is the scientific name, in case anyone was wondering. Beautiful red fruit that is, it's edible, but it's not apparently that tasty. And then of course the beautiful flowers over here on this side. Now, I think just in terms of traditional uses, as far as I know, it's just used to treat diarrhea and just other stomach problems. Oh, I dropped my leaf. And I think it's used also for fencing posts, but not too many uses besides obviously the sandpaper type of use. So yeah, maybe we should start keeping a tree list. And between here and the Mara, I'm sure we would be able to rack up quite a few interesting species. But I was very excited to see this particular tree, because we've got definitely, and there are some very interesting trees around Djuma, some odd trees that you don't see all that often, and I think this is probably one of the biggest sandpapers that I've seen in the last little while, as they occur around here. But funny enough, where I used to work in the southern Sabi sand, we didn't get to see them all that much, and on Simbambili we have a lot of wild pears, or at least they were there when I was there. I don't think they would have died. So quite popcorn. So maybe that's what the guys were looking at, a leopard somewhere in there, because I can definitely smell that very usual popcorn smell. Alright, we shall carry on our boundary patrol. Perhaps whoever it is will eventually come back out. I think it's hard because there's a lot of interference on the radio, so I tried calling them earlier, but it didn't really work. And it's fine, we don't really need to know. We'll find out later anyway. Alright. Now, let's see where this road takes us. Perhaps we'll see another interesting tree on the road. I'm still quite excited about that sandpaper bush, and hopefully we managed to convey just how rough leather is not the correct word. I think rough is probably the best word for that type of leaf. And we'll see what else we can see around here. I am hoping that at one point we're going to see wild dogs running in front of us all the way straight into Djuma, and then we'll do some voodoo bashing. Potentially break Rusty. Hopefully not. I think we'll leave that to Byron this afternoon. He's not going to be impressed with me because I said that. I think we've all broken something. Alright. Not tracks around here either. Taylor has left Bofosuk Dam, so let's go over to that little Narchi and find out where she's going to head next, or what fruit she's going to eat.
Have a little listen very quickly. There we go, there they go. I'm going to find them, hang on Craig. Orange-breasted bushshrike, you may have heard that. Beautiful call, Coffee Tea and me. Let me go back. Saw them fly this way. It'll be a nice bird to see. I haven't seen a pair of orange-breasted bushshrike in quite some time. It's always awkward going back over a bump. Then under this tree. But I can only see... I don't know what birds those are. They're go-away birds in there, not the ones that we're looking for. Does look like they are go-away birds. In a knobthorn? Yes. Also feeding on flowers. Oh, delicious. Now, a lot of the birds are going to make use of the knobthorn trees. Firstly, of course, the ones that feed on nectar. But a lot of birds out here will feed on flowers and fruit too. So that's what they're doing at the moment. There's actually lots of birds around. You can hear the fork-tailed drongos. I also now wonder if they weren't the culprits to the pearl-spotted owlet calls that I was hearing a moment ago. We were at the dam. Wouldn't surprise me. They're very good at mimicking. Trying to see who else we've got here. Emerald spotted wood dove. Craigie, there's a bird. Let me point it out to me. Try and get it on. Yeah. I think there. Is that a tree? Hang on, no, we're closer. There is... I'm just trying to figure out which one of it is. Is it? Can we go slowly? It's just this... It's like a little tree. The spiky one. Oh, it's in here. It's somewhere there. Oh, it's a dove. Oh, hello, dove. I got excited. Well, it looks like the emerald spotted wood dove. Are you? Yes, you are. Sitting there. So that was the one that was making the call. Now it's just flown away. Thank you very much. That's very nice of you. Who else have we got here? I'm searching. Search. Searching for the birds at work. Ooh. And like I said, panicky. Oh, pity we didn't get the orange-breasted bushshrike. Would have been nice.
Yes. Are you related to Ed? Because I met him once. No? Okay. Maybe I'm just making things up then.
There's so many people you're it's not clear.
Cool. Alright, well thanks for letting me know.
Enjoy.
Bye. Alright, sorry guys, I was just talking to, funny enough, one of the owners from Little Gowrie. So he was saying that there are a lot of elephants there, so I was trying to will him to send all of the lions and the leopards and the elephants and everything that's at Little Gowrie, and he just laughed, which I felt was a bit cruel. No, but apparently, good old boy Tingana is somewhere on Hoffman's, which is very close to Little Gowrie, so he's done a very long turn from where, well, we assume that whoever Seb heard last night was Tingana, so he's pretty much done a very massive patrol loop around, pretty much all around the northern side of the northern Sabi Sand, and he's been moving out and about, so it does seem like he's coming onto Little Gowrie, so hopefully he'll carry on moving and then come onto our side. But other than that, apparently there's not too much happening. So if he does carry on walking all the way onto Chitwa, then eventually later on this morning we'll be able to have a look at him, because I think from what I understood he's still far away, and I thought he was the father of somebody I knew, but he wasn't, and he looked at me funny, so my big mouth getting me into trouble. Alright, so perhaps the boundary patrol was not a bad thing. It's always good to have some information as to where some of the animals are. And of course, Tingana is probably key missions. He walks so much that it's quite interesting to try and keep up with him, just because of the sheer distances that he walks. And it is funny because, like we said, there are some different creatures have different characteristics attached to them. So if you find tracks for Shadow, you're like, oh, this is going to be a tough one, because she doesn't like to be found. But when we find tracks of Tingana, like wherever we find them, it's just like, oh, he could be so far away already. So it is funny how even when we start tracking them, just by knowing their movements a little bit, then we kind of know what to brace ourselves for and be, okay, we can do this. Now Shadow has been quite elusive. I Haven't seen her, and I know that Tristan said he had tracks for Shangila yesterday, so I wonder if perhaps she's still not in there in the block somewhere. Perhaps maybe we should go check around Treehouse Dam once more, see if maybe something else has come in that general direction now that the sun is finally shining and it's starting to warm up and we're not feeling as cold as we were earlier on this morning. Alright, looking in through this Tamboti thicket, maybe they'll be somewhere in there, and who knows, maybe we'll start taking off some layers because the sun is very beautiful already. What's happening around here? Oh, we seem like we have a crested francolin that's reading all the signs. Perhaps he wants to go to Chitwa? Is that where you want to go? Because it does look like he's reading the signs. No? That's Chitwa, but you're going the wrong way if you want to go that way. You need to read the sign. You need to follow the herd to Chitwa. Gone off the wrong way. So we'll carry on. Whee! I think maybe we should head on to Chitwa as well. Country gal, you're wondering if birds crossbreed in Africa. Well, I haven't heard of birds crossbreeding in a natural environment. I could be wrong. I just haven't heard of it, but I'm sure that in captive environments they do. So I would like to be able to give you an example. Unfortunately, it's something that I'll have to go back and try to research because I'm not too sure what species of bird would actually crossbreed around this area. I'm not too familiar with that. But I'm sure it does happen every now and again. I mean, if it happens with mammals in the natural world, I'm sure it can happen with other species of animals. Now, this is a great termite mound for any leopard. Shangilin, where are you? Everybody would like to see you. I wonder. Right, so apparently Tingana is somewhere further south in there, going in an easterly direction, so hopefully later on this morning he'll come on to Djuma. I think, however, he's still a bit far away. So let's see. So I'm not too sure where we should check now. I think maybe let's make our way to Treehouse Dam, see if maybe there are any more tracks around there now that there's been some time in between Taylor going there and us checking there. Maybe there will be something there that wasn't there before. You see, we were talking about our eyes playing tricks on us. I think that's just happened. I thought I saw something on top of a termite mound. So unless it was mongoose, likely it was just a dead log on top of it. And I was imagining an odd creature. And that was I with you the other day, Seb, when a bush scared me? We were coming around a corner and I have a very powerful imagination, which sometimes it's not the best thing for myself because I managed to scare myself all on my own. And we came around a corner and there was a bush and I went like because I don't know what I thought it was, but it was definitely coming to eat me. And then I realized it was a tree and I couldn't stop giggling afterwards. Not my finest moment. Honey badgers would also be nice because I think the only time that I've almost seen a honey badger and I just saw the hair of the tail running into the bush was here on this road. Well, yeah, they were running across this road. So that would be nice. Come on, guys. Alright, seems like Taylor has managed to fight off all the gremlins and has found herself a bird. So let's go over to her and find out which one it is.
Oh, no. I can't believe it. Where did it go? Did it go to the sun, Bobo? This bird is like my arch nemesis in the northern sands. And of course, I can't move now because there's gremlins. Oh, that is so... Hey? We got it. Oh, Craig's amazing. Craig's got it. Well done. Ah, there we go. Well, you had a very, very quick view of the southern bowbows. That's a bit disappointing. I'm actually sad now. I'm really upset. Stupid bird. You don't understand how I've been chasing this bird. Remember? Listen, it's actually calling. that beautiful? No, it's not the graded bushshrike, it's that other one. Oh, I wish we could have spent a bit more time with them. They're really amazing birds to watch. I obviously had lots of experience with them from down the Eastern Cape. They're very common down there. And then down towards the southern Sabi sand, so along the big river lines, the Sabi River and Sutlu, all these different rivers, you see lots and lots of these southern bowbirds, but they are so incredible. Also, just like the fork-tailed drongos, they're able to mimic so many different bird species. They're so entertaining. So Bird, I take it back. I didn't mean to call you stupid, but you upset me. You really did. You made me rage. That is me getting angry. I really wish we could have spent more time with it, because we don't see them up here. I think I spent like 15 minutes one day driving around the same bush trying to get you a sighting of it. But not playing ball, so we're going to keep moving around here and hopefully we'll find some more birds. I'm going to send you back across to Ali, who is having her second sip of coffee.
I did, and because of that I'm now trying to stalk a wildebeest. I feel like a lion now, trying to approach it very carefully so that it doesn't run away. And I have the mane for it. Ha ha ha. Alright, perfect. Oh, well, this is nice of you, wildebeest. You clearly know that I am not going to eat you, so he's quite relaxed all the way around here, and it's just the one. Now, we've had quite a big herd that's been hanging around quarantine in that general area and doing a bit of a migration from quarantine to the dam, but I think we've just managed to find a lonely bull. It's not uncommon to find the bulls on by themselves, and often they'll just stay in a area and stomp around and just declare it their own ground, but if no females come around, likely they're just gonna leave and then try to find themselves into another spot. Now, we've also got the oxpeckers, the red-billed oxpeckers on top of the wildebeest, and these are my favorite birds in the whole world because I just find that they're not even real. They're just too funny. So we've got the adult on the right that's got all its bright colors, and then a sub-adult on the left. You see that its beak is still quite black, quite dark. So not an adult just yet, but getting there. Now, you are being quite funny. So they're scratching themselves and having a bit of a grooming session on top of the wildebeest. Oh, stretching the wings. Beautiful. And carry on. Quite unusual to see them just going up and about and not pecking on the creature and just looking for the ticks. Obviously, they are very comfortable on top of this wildebeest as it feeds away, so it's just as good as any perching tree to be on top of that wildebeest. And they've got special feet adaptation that allow them to be on top of the wildebeest and not get tired. So, if you recall, most of birds or the perching birds, they have 3 feet on top and then 1 at the back. So if they're seated on a tree, then it's quite easy for them to wrap their feet around them and just pretty much stay there. But oxpeckers are a bit different. They have a bit of a different feet structure, and they've got 2 feet on the front and then 2 feet at the back, and that allows them to act like a grip, like a claw, and then they can hold on to the animals that they come and feed the ticks or get the ticks off from. Also very powerful, or very strong, I shouldn't say powerful, tail feathers that allow them to pretty much balance themselves and act a bit like a tripod. Catherine, you say that oxpeckers are always so busy. I agree. They always seem to be up to something. A lot of the times up to nothing good. Because they can be quite cheeky with some of the creatures, and they'll start going into their ears or into the backside or even into their eye. Sometimes I've seen them trying to peck ticks from the animals. So I suppose it's one of those annoying little things that they all learn to tolerate just because it's good for them. But we're saying such evil things about them, and they're looking so pretty this morning, just grooming themselves and not doing anything negative. And just the 2 of them is quite rare. Normally the groups of oxpeckers are slightly bigger, but perhaps further into the bush there are other antelopes that the rest of the family has gone onto. You hear that? That was another oxpecker, and it's not the 2 that we're looking at. And they're at a distance from here, so I wonder if maybe they're still in the tree where they started their morning or where they spent the night. and they might just end up landing on the wildebeest a little bit later on. So oxpeckers are actually a great indication when we start walking in the bush, or when we do bushwalks. When you hear a lot of them flying around, especially if you're coming close to a drainage line, then you know, because they normally don't go with the animals through the drainage line. They'll fly away and they'll start alarm calling and making their noises that they do. So it's a good indication that maybe I need to be careful. There could be something big around here, like a buffalo or a rhino or a wildebeest or an impala in that case. Of them alarming around here, but only 2 on top of the wildebeest. Quite interesting to see the comparison of the 2, the adult and the sub-adult one together. I thought maybe at one point also the adult was going to start feeding it, but it seems like it's not the case. I think they're both just going to carry on along with their day. And I think maybe what we're going to do is just let them carry on with their day, and we're going to go check Treehouse Dam as we were planning to do earlier, because a lot of things are now starting to move around. So hopefully we'll be able to... Oh, the one flew away. Hopefully we'll be able to see some more creatures over there. And we'll leave these pretty oxpeckers. Now, just as I was explaining earlier, I think sometimes visual aids are a bit more helpful. Like the feet of most birds are like this. There's 3 and then the 1 claw at the bottom. So it'll be something like this, imagine. And the oxpeckers have got 2 here and then 2 at the back like this. I know this is very strange, but imagine something like that. And that's how they grip onto things. Alright, I think like Taylor is also doing a bit more birding this morning, so let's go over to her and find out what her best oxpecker impression sounds like.
My best oxpecker impression? I don't even know. Now I've got to try and think. Sounds like a drill. No, I sound like a telephone. More like a brew. No, let's not do that call. Scrap that. Can we cut that out? Oh no, we're live. Never mind. I don't know what I'm looking for anymore. We are just birding, I suppose. There's lots of elephant tracks around here. I'm not even going to try and follow them because I know what's going to happen. They're going to go cross out because they're sneaky. I would really like to find another southern bobo though, and spend some time with a southern bobo. That is going to be my goal for the end of the year, is actually to find one. And watching them doing duets is amazing because they've got so many different types of calls. My favorite call is when they sound like they're a car struggling to start. They sort of go which is really so funny to listen to and to watch. Right, let me just check here. This is normally a good area for birding too. We've just come into one of the drainage lines. I have not seen any leopard tracks, so I'm actually confused as to where Thandi and Tamba have walked. Now, I have realized though, I've only seen Thandi a couple of times, and she's very sneaky. She never seems to walk on the roads for very long. She goes animal pathways and then just straight through the bush. So I never know where to look when I'm trying to find them. We're just going through giraffe dip, literally not even a bird around here. So up we'll go, and I've got my head on the ground. I'm checking. Oh, I think I may have pulled my mic. No, it's still in my hat. Just checking to see if I can see any footprints. I think we'll go up Gari Cutline. We'll just check that tree. I know that there was nothing left of that carcass. Now these elephant tracks actually don't look old, and there's fresh dung. Let me see which way they're going. In the direction that we're not going, so obviously quite old. Those are hyena tracks. Okay. Right, let's go back to the jackalberry tree. And spot it here. And then we'll check Mvubu Road, we'll check Gallagher Pan. We'll search around here. Here's leopard tracks. I think the guides are going to be happy about this. They're not going north. Give us something to follow up on. Oh, car. Settle car. Can you just stay in gear, please? Not jump. Let's not jump out of gear. Let's first see if the car's going to roll away from us. Yeah, it is. Hang on, sorry, Craig. Let me just go off the road a little bit more. I don't want to see Craig going down into the drainage line. Okay, let's find a nice track to have a look at. Let's make sure there's no leopards here because I don't want to chase them away while I'm on foot. Yay! It's night to see cat tracks. There we go. These look like Tandi's footprints. You can see me a little sticky. No, we'll use a piece of grass. Here are the toes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we've got the back of the foot here. 1 lobe, 2 lobes, and then the 3rd lobe. Now, they're not very big. They're quite small, in fact. Definitely not Tumba's big feet. That is for sure. But I wonder if I just check a little bit further away, if I find the other tracks. Huh. Now we need to figure out where they go, don't we? I think they're going to go towards the dam, I have a feeling. I'll go that way. I've just got to plug myself in again. Okay. And we're going to call this in as well. Yeah, let's follow it for a little bit first, and then we'll call it in once we can figure out exactly which direction these tracks are going. So we're central Gari Cutline Junction. They're still going this way. I'm going to keep them in my sight. Now they go off the road. You see what I mean? She doesn't stay on the road for very long. I think Tumba may have been walking here too. I think that he was following his mother. Let me just quickly confirm exactly. Going that way. So cutting now into the block, going towards Mvubu Road. I'm just going to quickly keep on note. They come back onto the road again. I'm going to keep my eyes glued to the ground, so I apologize if I don't turn around and look back at you. But I want to make sure